Thank you, everyone, for joining us at this time. It's almost 12 midnight here in Nigeria. I believe that should be at about 11 p.m. in London, where Daniel Bwala, member of the Lincoln Institute in London, is joining us to discuss some of the developments uh, coming out from River State. I'm sure, Daniel, you've been watching very closely to see how the things pan out, politics, that is. We did see at the advent of this whole episode, for lack of a better word, coming out from River State. We saw the members of the legislature, about 27 of them defect to the APC from the PDP. We also saw how commissioners of infrastructure, commissioners for works, commissioners for transportation, the commissioner for welfare, and just quite a number of them, about 8 of them, they also uh, defected and resigned, as a matter of fact, to the APC, and that seems to have weakened the powers of Fubara, the governor of River State, in that state as we speak. This is all as a result of the feud between Wike and Fubara. You've been watching very closely, Daniel, and we've had this discussion, I believe, maybe just off record. But are you? Is there something you know that we don't?
Well, to make a point from what you said, that when the commissioner started resigning, it was weakening the governor. I don't think so. I think the resignation was rather strengthening him, because the people who were resigning were commissioners that were loyal to Governor Wike, and you wouldn't want this kind of individuals in your cabinet. So it is like a miracle happening for him, where rather than him sacking them on their own, they are finding the exit door that would pave way for him to get people who are after his own mind, people who have capacity. Because for sure, you cannot tell me that in the whole of River State that the commissioners that eventually resigned were the best. But you see, what happened today is what surprised me. The events unfolding never surprised me, because once there is a political problem, you are likely to see that kind of a situation. Uh, Governor Fubara, after he has fought and won almost all the battle at halftime, everything else has gone in his favor. In terms of the individuals who left the party, he had already sent a letter through the House of Assembly that they needed INEC to conduct a fresh election, that will bring in new people. He got an order validating some of the steps he took. He was able to pass the budget. He has actually succeeded in virtually every front. Just after the victory, he now went and surrendered his victory to his opponent. Now, this is the part that surprised me, and quite frankly, I'm surprised that the president of Nigeria.
Tell us why.
That the president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will suspend the constitution under a constitutional democracy. Remember,
how did he do that?
What they call directive or resolution from this meeting are to the effect that, one, the House of Assembly members that defected should go back and continue their proceedings. In other words, do not proceed with the plan to conduct election and bring in few people. That means they are going back into the House of Assembly to operate as members of the APC. The House of Assembly members should not be denied the privileges, allowances, and all of that. You should not fight Wike in the quote unquote. In other words, virtually every stride go and represent the budget. Now, look at it this way. There was an order of court that said the remainder of the House of Assembly members constituted the quorum. So that means the presentation of the budget, validation of the budget, was carried out under the due process of law, under constitutional democracy. There was an order of court that authenticated what they did eventually. Now, for the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, being aware of constitutional democracy, being aware of the steps they took, which was supported by law in terms of the order of court and the procedure as provided by the Constitution, to still preside over a meeting that will ask them to go back and rewind, go back and undo the order of court, go back and undo constitutional procedure, it means that the president, who under Section 5 swore to the Constitution to preserve this Constitution and enforce it, that the president ousted the Constitution in order to carry out political activities for the benefit of either his party, himself, or his 2027, whatever it is, whatever that meant. And right now, the good people of Rivers are thrown under the bus. You see, because as chief executive of the state, Governor Fubara has all the trappings and the powers that the president has in terms of the nation, Governor Fubara has in terms of the state. He is the leader of the party in the state, as you know, under People's Democratic Party, but he's the chief executive. There are elders in Rivers. Heck, I even doubt if this resolution had the blessing of the elders. I doubt if this resolution was not obtained under duress. I doubt if Governor Fubara will be honest to himself and to his destiny that these resolutions was what he agreed to them in the interest of the people of Rivers State over and above the interest of political exigency. So it came to me as a surprise, apart from the political activity, the fact that the commander-in-chief who swore to the Constitution to preserve the Constitution will preside over the ousting of the Constitution of Nigeria.
Daniel, these are very interesting times. I'm wondering who is winning this battle, because when you say that it seems to be a halfway through the match, and now you're waiting to see the full, uh, you know, 90 minutes of the match. You are likening it to Trafford being playing.
Yeah.
For Wike to lose.
No, the thing is, I tweeted before this incident that I said Governor Fubara is basking in the euphoria of victory over Wike at halftime, but he should be wary of the second half, because the second half of the match usually consists of substitution. It consists of change of tactics. It even consists of pressure on the referee. And then I brought the example of Old Trafford. There is this thing they call Faji time. Faji time is that time as the match is coming to a close, that the Old Trafford, the coach of Manchester United, would put pressure on the referee. So they will add time to him on top of the added time. And most of the times, the comebacks in Man United happen around the Faji time. So Faji time is like a period where all kinds of manipulation take place. And I asked Governor Fubara to be wary of that. That's exactly what happened. The Faji time was that call for a meeting in the villa, which was strategically designed to buy time for Wike to successfully impeach this governor consequently. And I'm telling you, the governor will either have to renege and say he disowned whatever agreement. He will abide by the Constitution of Nigeria that gave an order validating his own House of Assembly members' quorum, validating the constitutional procedure he followed in passing the budget, validating his act as the chief executive of that state. It's either he decides on the path of the Constitution of Nigeria, or he goes on the path of unconstitutional and undemocratic. So that decision of today, if Governor Fubara accepts of it, it means he has successfully signed his political death warrant. I will tell you why. One, all the House of Assembly members will go back to the House and continue to operate as members of APC. It means he's going to be at the mercy of the people. Now, he has had order stopping them from doing certain activities. He has proceeded to, remove them and conduct election. The purported order that was claimed to have been obtained, or people were planning to obtain against him, in terms of proceeding with his impeachment, was thwarted. Now he will openly, with his two hands, welcome these individuals to sit and then sack him as the governor. That is one. Number two, if he goes back to APC, as we're hearing that they're all going to APC, Wike will still be his political leader in APC. And Wike is not somebody, it is if you give cookies to a mouse, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. Wike has not finished what he has started. And Wike cannot be in the same party with Fubara without Wike finding exactly what he wants. and sometimes it may not be what is good for the people of Rivers State. And then thirdly, it means these same commissioners that were hitherto undermining him will now come back to his cabinet. It's like you're asked to go and live with serpents and scorpions and snakes in the belief that they will not bite you. Why? Because somebody somewhere said these snakes are harmless. So he is going to see the systematic, stylish, and the procedural way by which he's going to be sliced into pieces politically before he's finally edged out. For God's sake, how can a man win victory and then at the celebration time give it to his opponent?
Well, this is turning out to be quite interesting. Okay, you can see that my lights have gone off. This is Nigeria, so we just hope that the light comes up very quickly anytime from now. But let's continue this discussion, because I'm quite interested about directors. Please, could you turn on the lights? Go downstairs and turn on the lights, please. I am quite interested to know how this is going to work out at the end, because you have on one hand the Ijaw National Congress, the INC. You have the Ijaw Youth Congress as well, the IYC, and they are pointing fingers at the government of Nigeria, saying that any attempt to try to truncate the administration of Fubara will be met with strong, that's what their word, will be met with strong resistance against their own son. What implication do you think that is, Daniel?
So, first of all, I will not promote or support violence of any kind, but whatever it is, what the APC and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu may have achieved is what we call the use of soft power. So instead of forceful takeover, you have a silent takeover where the person himself comes to surrender what he has. I don't know, for God's sake, what under the heavens will motivate Fubara to go and accept of what is circulating as the resolution. You see, if they come together for a discussion around peace and they say, shield your sword, everybody should live in peace. Governor, we can recognize this man is your governor. He governs the state. Don't interfere with his activities in the state, because so far, it is Governor Wike who goes to that state every day to interfere. Governor Fubara does not. This man cannot even harm a mosquito. That is how quiet he has been. In fact, recently he was somewhere where he was either commissioning something, and the guys that were singing, day your day, make I day my day. In other words, he doesn't want no trouble. Now, he has successfully, when it was meant for evil, he successfully defeated all of the antics and then went to Villa in the name of peace and came out with, it is like when President Obasanjo was reported once that he went to the house of the then chairman of PDP at night because he didn't like the comments the man made about him or against him. And he asked to eat. They cooked food, they ate together. And after they finished, he now pointed at he now handed the resignation letter and asked the man to sign. That's what happened. They actually drafted his impeachment and drafted his political death sentence and brought him with the elders to Villa to come and sign. And he agreed. Let me tell you, the entire people of Rivers State should not accept that resolution. It is not in the interest of the good people of Rivers. Why am I saying that? Because these individuals, when they go back to continue to operate in the House of Assembly as members of another party other than the party of the governor, will never give him peace. That is one thing you can take home. To the cabinet people that are going to be with him in the cabinet, whatever they say that they are reconciling with you, just know that they are now going to be the eyes, the ears, and the nose of Wike, and they will never want you to succeed in government. Then you can look at the broader picture, all the other areas in which, okay, have you not noticed in the last 1 week, the Rivers people were operating and acting as if they are free. They were freed from oppression. This is how everybody rallied around the governor from all tribes, including the tribe of Wike, including his local government. Everybody rallied around the governor saying, we want peace, we want progress, and we feel
But
you are now free
that's
enough to
what
deliver.
that's what the governor, that's what Fubara has always pushed forward,
Yeah.
saying that he is there. As a matter of fact, his last outing, he came out to say that River State will be taken back and given to the people of River State. That
And,
was his
and he
words.
and he went to the villa and gave back the right of the rivers people to the presidency. Now, I don't know if the meeting, and I have to put this, I don't know if the meeting of today, the president was actually there, because we just heard that there was a meeting. They went to Villa for indoor meeting, and then they came out. So I don't know if the president presided. If the president presided, then it is strange that the president would preside over the ouster, the denigration of the Constitution of Nigeria and the order of court. If the president did not, whoever presided over the meeting should be aware of this fact. And there would have been no reason to go to Villa for a meeting if the president is not going to be the one to preside over the meeting, or the vice president in the first place. So, and in fact, in accordance with the due process of law, first of all, the president ought to have, having become the president of the country, refer them to their own parties. This ought to be a meeting between Governor Wike, Governor Fubara, with the National Working Committee and the leaders of the party. But you've jettisoned that, right? You brought them up to Villa in the name of the president presiding over that. What is the big deal in asking everybody to shield their sword, go back and continue to operate? In other words, maintain
But
status quo.
Daniel, what do you expect him to do when even people like you believe that the PDP has lost its team and is practically not playing its role as an opposition? Where
Partly,
then do you
yeah,
advise Fubara to go to?
no, it is the president that is behind the trouble in PDP, because the president is the one giving the thumbs up to Wiki. Now, but at the moment, right now, the national working committees were even in favor of Governor Fubara when these guys claim to have migrated to another political party. The NWC issued a statement that they are fully behind the governor. So you don't even know under which duress he may have been asked to stay away from the party. You see, because if you have noticed in the last few months, when governors of PDP were going to the villa, practically begging so they can win their cases in court. In other words, so that their cases in court will not go against them. At least we have had the leader of the governors forum, Governor Bwala, said it. He said we came to thank him because thank God for him, or otherwise we would have lost our cases. So are we in a totalitarianism or in a democratic, administration? We have to be very careful about the seed we are sowing, about the kind of example we're giving. Now, what I expected when they went for the meeting, now the president and commander in chief can call anybody for reconciliation. But the outcome of the meeting should have said, go and maintain status quo. Why? Because when the courts are involved, constitutional means are involved, there's this thing they say, you lack jurisdiction to interfere on the constitutional matter. The president is not the court of appeal. There was a decision of the trial court that recognized the quorum. If you say the resolution is that they should go back and continue to function, that means you are violating the order of the court. Then this man, pursuant to the provision of the Constitution, followed the due process and presented the budget. Now, anybody who challenges that ought to go to court. The court is the only way where you seek redress as to the interpretation of the Constitution, whether it is violated or not under the executive. You can't go to an executive branch of government to interpret that. And the president ought to have, in case he's even not aware of this fact, called his attorney general. What are the legal implications of me asking these people to go back to House of Assembly when there is an order of court that said their migration to another political party has given right to the remainder of the House of Assembly members to affirm the quorum to perform their duties under the law?
How
And this
badly,
governor,
how badly then do you think this can get to? Because right now, River State House of Assembly is factionalized.
right?
You know that there are two speakers in the House now, and this is not looking very good for your party in River State.
There are not two speakers. You see, because the other speaker, who, along with others, left for another political party, if I get it right, As soon as they left for another political party, the remainder of the House of Assembly, together with the governor, had written to INEC to say, these guys are no longer members of our party. We needed a date and time to conduct election to get people into our party. And the various constituencies from this, where these people came from, at least I heard from one who said that the reason why we voted him was to represent our party in the House of Assembly. Since he had changed party, we need a new representative. So, Mr. Gimba, there is a total departure from constitutional order. This is my fear. Let us not give room for unscrupulous element to suspend this our democracy by our undemocratic approach to issues. Two things from the eyes of law that I can advise. Since there was an order of court that validated the procedure that led to the presentation of that budget, the president ought to have known that somebody needs to go to court and deal with that matter before you can say people should go back to the House of Assembly. And then two, for the cabinet members, you can plead with him and say, take them back. But what happens to the effect of their resignation? You see, I have a reason to believe that this governor must have been held under hostage. And whatever agreement that is there, it must have been an agreement that is reached under duress. First of all, until tomorrow, maybe
But
we
these are
will
purely
know.
speculations. These are purely
Yes,
speculations.
yes. Until we have seen papers flying, right? But we are yet to see the value because the paper does not show regular way by which signatures are done, where you sign, you write your name and all that, right? So we need more facts regarding that. Our own interrogation today and intervention is premised on the belief that if this paper circulating or the so quote unquote resolution circulating is proper. And by the way, we only wait for them to give us the feedback, but we have already heard from credible people around them that that is exactly the true representation of what happened. So we wanted the presidency to either debunk or for them tomorrow to say, okay, no, this thing never happened. But what I will encourage the people of Rivers, the elders, everybody, is to rally around the governor and free him from this duress that he was compelled to agree to. Because I cannot imagine that any right-thinking person will agree to that kind of resolution. What they wrote here.
Do you believe though that the elders in the Niger Delta, the Edwin Clarks of this world, the Asari Dokobos Mujahid, uh, do do you think they have the interest of that region and narrowing it down to River State, the governor there? Do you think they
Well,
have his interest at heart, or are these just selfish interests as being insinuated by some?
no, I don't think so, because all you need to look at is their history. I mean, Asari Dokubo historically has taken sides with right. There was a time he was fighting for the Wike himself. It's not an Ijo matter. Edwin Clark, all along, his the years he has put in experience is fighting for the interests of the Niger Delta. That's how he come about the leadership of the Niger Delta, not limited to any tribe, Ijo, Ikwere, or whatever. So to suddenly tag them with that, I think is disingenuous, to them. They have the interests of their people. And I won't be surprised if tomorrow all of them come out to debunk whatever agreement that came out of Villa. Because I cannot see a reconciliation in which people who resign, you say they should come back and remain in another political party and be working with the governor. Those who left the House of Assembly and left the party should come back to the House of Assembly with all the rights and privileges against the order of court and against the letter presented to INEC and continue to function. And you said that governor agreed to those things? I don't believe so. The governor needs to see, because many years ago, this our democracy was tempted when Chris Ngige was abducted. People thought at the beginning, when the video came out, that it couldn't have been abduction, like play. And Chris Ngige at the time could have as well played along and acted as if, all is well, we're resolving our problems. But he had to cry out and say, I'm abducted as a governor. I have reason to believe that Fubara right now is abducted. Not physical restraint, but mental restraint. Because if you have listened to him these days as he advanced the course of his people forward, because the agreement of today is to take him backwards, actually, because he has gone past that level. He is already making plans to bring in commissioners. He's already making plans to conduct election, to follow the due process of law in the conduct of election that bring new people. He has presented his
So what
budget.
is stopping him? What is stopping him from going ahead to be the man that he thinks he is?
I don't know, but they ask him to go and represent. If you look at that so-called resolution, to go and represent the budget before now a constitutive House of Assembly involving the renegades that led a political party, involving everybody. I mean, this is a rape on democracy, and I do
Does
not
Fubara
expect.
stand a chance? Does Fubara stand a chance to fight that the defection of those commissioners as well as state assembly members? Does he have a case to fight?
No, he doesn't need to fight them. The law is clear. As soon as they left, he didn't need to go to court to seek. He only needed to notify INEC. Then there will be conduct. It is them that would challenge him in court to say, although we change our political party, but we still believe we have the mandate of our people. So he is making progress. And when you say whether he stand a chance in terms of if somebody takes him to court, whether the person will succeed or not, have they not even tried and failed? We had the rumor that there was even a purported order to impeach him. That one later, it was said, no, it's not true. So he was already, you are making progress. They called you to a meeting and asked you to undo everything. And as we're talking, Mr. Gimba, the saddest part is that the interest of the Rivers people is not even in consideration. All is in a bid to pander to the interest of political godfather. What are we talking about? Democracy? Just last week, people from APC were all over media criticizing Wike vehemently, asking him to leave Fubara alone, that they don't even need him to bring this unnecessary drama to their party. And then you call a meeting to pander to him because all the resolution today was pandering towards the interests of Wike. Let the commissioners go back. Who are commissioners? Loyalists of Wike. Let the House of Assembly members go back. Who are they? Loyalists of Wike. Give them their rights and privileges. Don't fight them. Who are they? Loyalists of Wike. Represent the budget to the House of Assembly where they will be there. Why? So they can interrogate the budget in the interest of Wike. So everything that is discussed, there was never a mention or the decisions taken never favored the good people of Rivers. But you have even confirmed to me that everybody around Rivers were coming together and saying they are rallying around their governor, let him deliver. And then you bring them to a meeting where you undo everything. Let me tell you in a nutshell, let's not even drag it. They are making plans to impeach him because they don't
You have
want.
that on good authority? Do you
I
have that
have
on good?
had it. I see he's going to go back to the House of Assembly, and you can see that he was going to go back. Just like they say when they say peace, 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 and sudden destruction come. He's going to go back, and there will be an artificial reconciliation. And one day, on their own, they will. You see, because part of the resolution is that they should decide wherever they want to sit and do us. These are people that ordinarily they can't sit and deliberate his impeachment. By this reconciliation means they can go and legislate and they can sit in one day, 24 hours, and they take him out. Once they say they pass a resolution impeaching him, the next is that law enforcement will go and remove him. I don't think a right-thinking man will agree to what is being circulated as the resolution of the people. It is his political death sentence. And what I mean political death sentence is not physical. I'm talking about political career. Just have him agree to it so that by himself he signed his own destruction. So it is left for him to accept of that, or it is left for him to do what he needs to do for the good people of the state. Hello?
Hello, Daniel. Are you still there? Okay, it seems we had a little bit of network connectivity. It's the Hamatan season is not very favorable for us here to try to link uh, Daniel from far away in London, where he is, been trying to explain to us uh, what this scenario is playing out how it may pan out in the next coming days, possibly in the next 6 hours when people are awake to watch this video. But we must sincerely thank you, Daniel Bwala, member of the uh, London uh, London Institute the Lincoln in London. We want to thank you so much indeed for sharing your thoughts with us, as we thank you also, everyone else who's watching this. We'll keep our eyes very closely on the happenings in River State. The governor, Siminilai Fubara, versus uh, his father, they call him the godfather there, uh, Mr. Nyesom Wike, who is now the minister of the FCT. Thank you for watching, and bye for now. I'm Gimba Omar. We'll see you again soon.